Today is Genesis chapter 24. Abraham was now an old man. God had blessed Abraham in every way. Abraham spoke to the senior servants in his household, the one in charge of everything he had. Put your hand under my thigh and swear to God in heaven, God on earth, that you will not get a wife for my son from among the young women of the Canaanites here, but you will go to my land of my birth, and get a wife for my son Isaac. The servant answered, but what if the woman refuses to leave home and come with me? Do I then take your son back to your home country? Abraham said, oh no, never. By no means are you to take my son back there. God, the God in heaven, took me from the home of my father and from the country of my birth, and spoke to me in solemn promise. I'm giving this land to your descendants. This God will send his angel ahead of you to get a wife for my son. And if the woman won't come, you are free from this oath you have sworn to me. But under no circumstances are you to take my son back there. So the servant put his hand under the thigh of his master, Abraham, and gave his solemn oath. The servant took 10 of his master's camels and loaded with gifts from his masters. Traveled to Aram Naharaim and the city outside of Nahar. Outside the city, he made the camels kneel at the well. It was evening, the time when women came to draw water. He prayed, O God, God of my master Abraham, make things go smoothly this day. Treat my master Abraham well as I stand here by the spring while the women of the town come out to get water. Let the girl to whom I say, lower your jug and give me a drink. And who answers, drink? Let me also water your camels. Let her be the woman you pick out for your servant Isaac. Then I'll know you're working graciously behind the scenes for my master. If so happened that the words were barely out of his mouth when Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, who was mother of Micah, the wife of Nahor, Abraham's brother, came out with a water jug on her shoulder. The girl was stunningly beautiful, a pure virgin. She went down to the spring, filled her jug, and came back up. The servant ran to meet her and said, "Please, can I have a sip of your water from your jug?" She said, "Certainly, drink." And she held the jug so that he could drink. When he had satisfied his thirst, she said, "I'll get water for your camels too, until they've drunk their fill." She promptly emptied her jug into the trough and ran back to the well to fill it. She kept at it until she had watered all the camels. The man watched, silent. Was this God answered? Had God made his trip successful or not? Verse 22 and 23. When the camel had finished drinking, the man brought out the gifts: a gold nose ring weighing a little over a quarter of an ounce, and 2 arm bracelets weighing about 4 ounces, and gave them to her, and asked her, "Tell me about your family. Whose daughter are you? Is there room in your father's house for us to stay the night?" She said, "I am the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Milcah and Nahor, and there's plenty of room in our house for you to stay, and lots of straw and feed besides." At this, the man bowed and worshipped before God and prayed, "Blessed be God, of my master Abraham. How generous and true have you been to my master. You've held back nothing. You led me to the right door of my master's brother. And the girl was running, filling everyone in her mother's house what had happened. Rebecca had a brother named Laban. Laban ran outside to the man at the spring. He had seen the nose ring and the bracelets on his sister's hand, and heard her say, "This man said this and this to me." So he went to the man, and there he was, still standing with his camels at the spring. Laban welcomed him. "Come on in, blessed of God. Why are you standing out here?" "I've got the house ready for you." "And there's also a place for your camels." Verse 32 and 33. So the man went into the house. The camels were uploaded and given straw and feed. Water was brought to bathe the feet of the man and the man with him. Laban brought out food, but the man said, "I won't eat until I tell my story." Laban said, "Go ahead, tell us." The servant said, "I am a servant of Abraham. God has blessed my master. He is a great man. God has given him sheep and cattle, silver and gold, servants, maidservants, camels, donkeys, and to top it off, Sarah, my master's wife, gave him a son in her old age, and he passed everything on to his son. My master made me promise, don't get a wife for my son from the daughters of the Canaanites, in whose land I live. No, go back to my father's home, back to my family, and get a wife for my son there." I said to the master, "But what if the woman won't come with me?" And he said, "God before whom I walked faithfully will send his angel with you. He will make things work out." so that you'll bring back a wife for my son from my family, from the house of my father. Then you will be free of the oath. If you go to my family and they won't give her to you, you will be free from the oath. Well, when I come this very day to the spring, I pray God of my master Abraham, make things turn out well in this task that I have been given. I'm standing at this well when a young woman comes here to draw water, and I say to her, please give me a sip of water from your jug. She says, not only will I give you a drink, I will water my camels. Let that woman be the wife God has picked out for my master's son. I had barely finished offering my prayer when Rebecca arrived, her jug on her shoulder. She went to the spring and drew water, and I said, can I please have a drink? She did not hesitate. She held out her jug and said, drink. When you are finished, I will also water your camels. And she watered the camels. I asked her, whose daughter are you? She said, the daughter of Bethuel, whose parents are Nahor and Milcah. I gave her a ring for her nose, bracelets for her arms, and bowed in worship to God. I praise God, the God of my master Abraham, who led me straight to the door of my master's family to get a wife for his son. Now tell me what you're going to do. If you plan to respond with a generous yes, tell me. But if not, tell me plenty painfully so I can figure out what to do next. Laban answered, this is totally from God. We have no say in the matter. Either yes or no, Rebecca is yours to take her and go. Let her be the wife of your master's son, as God made his plan. When Abraham's servant heard their decision, he bowed in worship of God. Then he brought out gifts of silver and gold and clothing and gave them to Rebekah. He also gave expensive gifts to her brother and mother. he and his men had supper and spent the night. But first thing in the morning they woke up. He said, "Send me back to my master." Her brother and mother said, "Let the girl stay a while. Say another 10 days, and then go." He said, "Oh, don't make me wait. God has worked everything out so well. Send me off to my master." They said, "We'll call the girl. We'll ask her." They called Rebecca and asked her, "Do you want to go with this man?" She said, "I'm ready to go." So they sent them off. Their sister Rebecca with her nurse and Abraham's servant with his men. And they blessed Rebekah, saying, "Your sister live bountifully, your children triumphantly." Verse 61. Rebekah and her young maids mounted the camels and followed the man. The servant took Rebekah and sent her off home. Isaac was living in Negev and had just come back from a visit from Leroy. The evening, he went out into the field. While meditating, he looked up and saw the camels coming. When Rebekah looked up and saw Isaac, she got down from her camel and asked the servant, "Who is the man in the field coming toward us?" "This is my master." She took her veil and covered herself. After the servant told Isaac the whole story of the trip, Isaac took Rebekah into the tent to his mother Sarah. He married Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her. So Isaac found comfort in his mother's death. Thank you again for listening to this chapter. Again, it was chapter 24 of Genesis. Have a blessed day, and remember to smile at people, as you don't know how many people have had a bad day. And a smile is something simple, but it works very well. Thank you, and God bless.